Hello YouTube, De-bodgery here. Welcome to EV Components Review. This is a TP-128 rewind update. So this right here is the last of turns that go in the 5th phase. So this is literally a 6-phase motor, but those are going to be connected together in parallel to make this a dual Y wind. That's a fairly common method of winding motors. I hadn't seen that before until just recently, but it's a fairly common thing. It just wasn't something I'd ever wound before. So yeah, I'm willing to learn things when I don't know stuff, and that's A-okay with me. But anyway, this is going to be a dual Y wind, and this is the 5th of the 6 phases. Here is all the strands for the 6th phase on my winding board, ready to roll. So that one will go on after a little while. This wind right here is 2 lowercase a to 2 lowercase b. So like right there is the start of 2 lowercase a, and once this gets down in that tooth, because this is literally the end of the third turn for this, then this will be wrapped around like these ones are, and I'll mark that one as 2 lowercase b. Anyway, just thought I'd give you a quickie status update on this motor. There's going to be a small change for what I do with the rest of these motors compared to this one, and this is all about slightly improving the ease of winding of this thing. And essentially right now we have 71% copper fill in the stator teeth. That doesn't sound like that great, but it's actually pretty good. The only way you're going to get a higher percentage is to use something that's got a bigger cross-section of copper. So, here's all my strands. These are 23 strands of 24 AUG and 36 strands of 23 AUG to make that. And, well, that sounds like a lot of strands, and I guess it is, because it's whatever that is, 59 strands. Yeah, 59 strands. And that seems like a lot, but this is also easy to manage and to pull through the stator teeth without too much trouble. All those strands are very flexible, so they pull through relatively easily. If I were to use a thicker strand, say like 14 AUG wire, which I do have a spool of it, then getting those strands through the stator teeth is significantly harder because they're just way, way stiffer. Could it increase the copper cross-section percentage? Yes, it could. Don't know exactly how much. Probably get it up to like, say, 75% rather than 71% or 76% or something like that. The truth is, though, it doesn't matter. Because in this motor right now, with this wind, part of this wind, the reason why it's done this way is because we're looking at full iron saturation with this bunch of strands. So it's not important that we go to some other bigger strand to get slightly better copper cross-section. It's not going to help the iron saturation even slightly. And that is our true limit on this motor. And it's why it is that this has been a 32 kilowatt wind since nearly the day one. It's because we discovered where iron saturation happened, and that pretty much limited everything else thereafter. So then you just figure out how to get the best, most efficient wind on the motor at that 32 kilowatt, fully iron saturated limit. So yeah, that's what we're doing, and we're there already with all these small strands, so more copper isn't going to change that even slightly. About all it would do is maybe reduce motor heating a little bit, because you would have a little bit less resistance. So yeah, there would be some loss improvement, but that's about it. Alright, so what else do I want to show you about this thing before I let you go? Obviously, I've got lots of loose stuff. Here's all my phases. Everything is just kind of hanging out right now. Anybody who's wound motors, they've all seen this kind of thing before. Nothing here all that special. As far as those things are concerned. Things are moving along quite nicely. Once I'm all done, I've got a couple places like right here. I noticed a few loose strands are just a little bit loose. I don't know how I missed them, but I did. Yeah, that stuff is all going to get bound up. You've seen me bind up, like, say, the F-spec motor, or like I think what I do, a QS165 V1. I think I did that to a V2 as well. I've done another TP-128 that I bound up. Forget what else, but you know, this is going to get bound up as well with motor thread, and probably it also gets some shellac on it if it's needed. And by the way, this has been brought up, you know, because the KO Moto people, they literally have no facts to ever stand on. So what they do is they nitpick what I say instead, because it's all they've got. You know, they literally have, you know, I present facts, I show facts, you know, you pull up meters and stuff. You know, I've pulled out my milliometer many times. You know, I can show inductance. You know, I have test equipment, things like that. So they only have facts to deal with from me. So all they can do is nitpick me on things that I say. So things like, say, shellac or red shellac or motor shellac. And this is really what I use. So it's really red insulating varnish. And there's the part number for it, 4228 from MG Chemicals. This is what I've used on every motor that you have ever seen where I put red stuff on it. This is it right here. Yeah, I have been calling this stuff shellac or motor shellac or red shellac for years. And I get it, yes, it's not the right name, but there it is. Go look up the 4228 product from MG Chemicals, and you'll see the stuff is rated for 180 degrees Celsius. So yes, this is the stuff to use for motors. Yep. And that's what I put on the F-Spec motor. It's what I've put on everything you've ever seen me show on camera, and many other things that you have never seen on camera. Because it's the right product. Yeah, 180 degrees Celsius. If you get to those temperatures inside your motor, please let me know, because it's probably on fire anyway. Yeah. Even my wire, because, you know, attention to details, I've harped on that one many times. This is all 200 degrees Celsius wire insulation. So it's going to handle whatever heat you might possibly throw at this motor. 200 degrees Celsius is really hot. Really, really hot. I guarantee you, you put your hand on 200 degrees Celsius wire, you're going to come away with a nasty ass burn. And hey, my insulation handles it. The red insulating varnish, aka red shellac, motor shellac as I tend to call it, that will handle those kinds of temperatures too. And in fact, I know for a fact that this stuff will run much hotter than that. And all it does is it just turns darker red. It doesn't burn up. It doesn't like melt off. And it's definitely not shellac, which comes from some kind of a beetle shell, if I remember right. You know, the real stuff does. So yeah, I find stuff like that highly tedious and annoying. That's really all that people can do is like nitpick me for stuff. Really, guys, you should get a new hobby. I obviously present facts. I obviously measure stuff, and that's the best you got is like, oh, he calls it shellac, and it's not shellac, and yeah, that stuff melts at 75 degrees. Come on, really? You've seen me apply it. Really, that's shellac? That's like literally shellac? Anyway, yeah. The KO Moto people, all I can say is you guys need to have a serious meeting with reality. Anyway, yep, TP-128's coming along nicely. Take care, folks. Talk to you later. Bye.